Hey guys, Jonathan with JonathanWaltersPhotographer.com, and today we're going to be talking about how I got my first concert photography gig. Along with that, we're going to be talking about how I prepared to do that show because I had never done anything that crazy before. And I'm going to give you kind of a look at what I did to prepare for it and the results after doing the preparations and showing you that you can do it too. A friend of mine who plays in a band. It was in a band that I used to be in. He was playing at a show in the end of August. I asked him, I typically do all of their concert shoots or anything like that, so I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to get in and people weren't going to be asking me for credentials or anything like that. So I contacted him and said, hey, am I good to go? He wrote me back and said, yeah, we're good to go, everything's good. And I said, I thought to myself, you know, wouldn't that be cool if, since I'm going anyway, to be able to shoot some of the other bands. At the time, I had no idea who was even playing. I just thought, you know, it'd be really cool to get in and kind of see different artists. Well, I wrote the company on Facebook who was hosting the venue in a Facebook message. It's probably the worst possible way to do this, hindsight being 2020, but I wrote them a message and they responded back to me, no. They said only people with press passes get in, and since I wasn't working for the press and I didn't have any other venue to share the photos, that they weren't going to give me access, and that they gave me a name of another person that if I was to get press pass, that's who I'd contact in the future, not write them a message on Facebook. So anyway, I had just kind of said, okay, well, I guess I can't get in. And then I was sitting in the Walmart parking lot going through my Facebook messages, and I happened to see that message, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and call her and tell them that I want to shoot for them. So what I did, I went ahead and gave them a call. She had recognized my name from some of my work that she had heard about through my friend who was playing at the concert. And she said, you know what, we're really not looking for somebody to do that. We've already got our own in-house photographer, but I appreciate you calling. And that was my moment where I had to make a decision to get out of my comfort zone and say something that would entice them to at least look at my work, or the time when I said, you know, okay, and just go on about my day. I'm so glad I got out of my comfort zone. That's when I said, you know what, if you're looking for photography for newspapers, then I'm not your person. I said, if you want art that you can put up on a billboard, if you want art that's going to make the artist proud and is going to show off your venue, I said, I'm the person for that. So if you're not looking for that, then you're right, I'm not your person. She said, well, you know what? Let me take a look at your website and we'll kind of go from there. Did you have a daily price in mind? Yada, yada, yada. And then she said, well, let me call you back a little bit later. Little did I know she was going to show her supervisor my work to see if it's something they could work out. She hadn't called me back yet. Again, it was super, super, super busy for her. She hadn't called me back yet, and I thought to myself, you know, they're not going to call me back. It was just a tell you enough to shut you up kind of thing that you get a lot in this industry. Anyway, I decided to step outside of my comfort zone again and be a little bit, I don't want to say aggressive, but I knew what I wanted to do at that point, and I knew if I didn't call her or something like that it could easily fall through. So I called her back, and she said yes, that they would love to have me do photography. It was not any of my concert photos that helped them select it. It was actually a photo of a dragonfly that I had taken. It was a macro photo. I got really close to a dragonfly, and you could see all the veins and stuff in its back. And it was just a really neat photo. The big thing going on with this is at that point I started learning what the job was going to entail. That is when she informed me that I was going to be shooting all access 90 concerts in a 2-week time span. I thought, cool, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to be in a lot of local bands. Everything's going to be good. And then she dropped on me the bands that I'll be shooting for. Collective Soul, Charlie Daniels Band, the Mowglis, American Authors, Trace Adkins, Montgomery Gentry, Colt Ford. I mean, she just blew my mind whenever she started naming all these artists that I knew and that I thought was going to be... I thought, holy cow, I just got in over my head. This is going to be crazy. I don't know if I can do this. So, I did what anybody would do. I started freaking out, getting on the internet and searching and searching and searching, trying to figure out how to shoot perfectly in concert situations. I came across one book in particular about a week before the event started that really, really, really helped me out on this. So that was how I got the gig of shooting these concerts. I had access to 90 concerts. Due to some of the overlap, I didn't get to shoot all 90 of them, but I did get to shoot for some of the top artists in the United States at that time, especially Collective Soul just releasing their 9th album. That was absolutely huge. So being able to shoot that 2 weeks prior to the album coming out was just awesome. The book that I picked up was All Access, written by Alan Hess. It's All Access, Your Backstage Pass to Concert Photography. I'm going to post a link. This is the link for it right here. This book is absolutely a lifesaver if you can take in and read what he is talking about in this. He shows some amazing examples. I actually picked this book up at a secondhand store for $3.99, but you can find them all day long on eBay and Amazon for under $20. Get this book. I'm serious. Don't buy another lens. Don't buy another anything for your camera until you have bought this book. Whether you're wanting to shoot concerts or anything low light or anything that has to deal with other people. A lot of people think concert photography is about getting the picture. That is very, very, very small fraction of it. The atmosphere, and Alan goes into talking about this, the atmosphere, the drive of the job, the angles, everything else that you don't think about whenever you're trying to envision, okay, I'm going to go to the concert and how do I get the right exposure? He goes over that. He goes over how to shoot in manual, what settings to meter your camera in so you get the right light settings. And it works. It works really, really well. And if you follow this book, you can see some of his examples. I loved his pictures. I tried to take some of his pictures and not necessarily emulate them, but try to hit that level of photography. Keep in mind, this was my first time ever shooting anything this large. I had shot for a smaller band in Nashville once, and my friends that were in a band that I used to be in as well. That was it. So I didn't come into this with, 20 years of experience under me and then walk into something amazing. So anyway, this book is a must-have for anybody wanting to do any type of low-light photography, concert photography, or even if you're just trying to get in the business of photography. This really helps with how you talk to people, who you reach out to, which I should have had this before, then I would have known Facebook is not a good place to reach out to people. But Broken Road got me to them. Anyway, so this book is definitely a must-have. With that being said, I'm just going to swap over to my computer now and show you some of the images that came out of the concert series that was going on. Excuse my super slow internet for doing these images like this. I am looking at these images on my website, jonathanwaltersphotographer.com. This is through a Squarespace-based image, or a Squarespace-based portfolio style that I use. I use this for my photos, my blogs, and all that cool stuff, so you can reach out to me. If you ever need to contact me, you can do it on here, or you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/jwaltphotography. Anyway, I've got my galleries here, and these are just some of the big bands that were there. So you can see some pretty neat people. This is my best of gallery, and you can see just some really neat images. Let's see what that's doing. I hit the home button. Just some really neat images loading up on the screen. I'll go to one of my favorite galleries. Collective Soul was one of my favorite galleries. I was kind of drawn to them because I grew up listening to them a lot in the 90s. That's whenever I first got my taste of what music is, and it kind of got me into it and kind of got me hooked. Whenever I started playing guitar and stuff like that, Shine was one of my first songs I learned how to play on guitar. But it doesn't look like the images are going to pop up on here, so I'll just put them over the screen. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope that kind of explains a little bit more of how I got my first gig shooting the concerts and how I went from there to prepare for that. I will go into more detail. If you have any questions about detail that I might have left out, because there's a lot involved with this, or if you want more detail on my actual experience while I was there, I'm more than happy to share that. Just let me know in the comments what you want to know about this, and I'll be more than happy to share it. And again, be sure to check out this book. This isn't by any means a one-size-fits-all book, but if you're trying to go down this same type of path of getting into like the entertainment photography and the concert photography, stuff like that, this is a must-have book. I've got lots of books. I don't know if you can see them up there. I've probably got 20 or 30 books on different photography methods and stuff like this, and this has been the most helpful for me, and it's honestly been the cheapest to buy. Most of these books are $40, $50, $60, and to find one, I found mine for $4. Even if you find it under $20, that's a steal. So thank you so much for watching. Again, Jonathan from Jonathan Walters Photographer. Be sure to subscribe to my blog. You're going to get all these videos. You're going to get tips, tricks, all that good stuff, and the occasional educational news and all of that great stuff. So thank you so much. Have a good one.